Hey guys, it's your boy MKS. I'll give you another video. I hope you checked out part 1 and 2. Probably going to get straight into this video. Probably not going to do too much of a long intro. I hope people like this video, of course. This is a bit strange. I'm talking about the negative sides, but I'm going to do one in the future, probably soon actually, about more positive sides or marketing, or what I think Italian football can market it. But I suppose, again, looking at the negatives, I talked about in my previous videos about the negative sides. You can look at how you can change. Obviously, this video is going to be one geared towards football fans. So, anywho, number 21. I think, like, the culture of Italian football, as I said before, is a bit negative. And just to recap some of the points, like, it's known as a bit boring and defensive and negative. And there's a lot of prejudice and hooliganism and ultras and racism and all that. So I think that's a real shame, and it would be great to change that sort of culture. Number 22, I think it's quite difficult to change some of that culture. And even, as I said before, even if it does change, it will probably take a bit of time before Italian football can shrug off the negative or boring or violent or some of those negative stereotypes about Italian football. But again, I'd love to see, as a fan for pretty much over half my life, I would love to. I take things literally, so I suppose I could say a lifelong fan, but I suppose I didn't support them when I was really young. But anyway, so I didn't support them when I was a baby, of course. But anyway, sorry. But yeah, so I'd love to see some of those changes. But I think sometimes Italian football did try to change from more defensive to negative to positive and attacking football. But a lot of time it goes back and reverts back to type, if you like. So it is, to make those changes is quite difficult to become known as being anti-corrupt, attacking, expansive, playing enterprising football, entertaining football, and things like that. I think it does take a while to make those changes. I hope that they will make changes, but also that they will stick to those changes and not go back to but still obviously have good defence, but also play attacking football and defend when you need to, and that sort of thing. Number 23, I think it's probably, I don't know if irony is the right word, or I was thinking of another word earlier, but it might be, irony might be the right word. But I'm from England, but I'm an Italian fan because I think I look Italian. But actually, ironically, I think the Premier League and other leagues, well, certainly the Premier League does a lot more, as far as I'm aware, for charity. Maybe they just talk about it more, but I think Italian football doesn't do that much for charity, and I think that's a shame. Like, it would be great, I think, to see Italian football do stuff that's for charity, and possibly even learn from leagues like the Premier League about what fundraising they could make, like football matches, and record them on YouTube and do fundraising for poor people around the world, including Italy itself and around the world, and fund more like sort of stadiums and more training facilities for young footballers, and also academies and things like that. So I do think that Italian football can learn from a lot of leagues. Unfortunately, they're ahead in those sort of areas, like training academies, developing young players, doing things for charity, tackling racism and things like that. 24, again, I think that Italian football can be very prejudiced and have a lot of, it's a shame, but I think there's a lot of nationalism, and as I said before, like extreme left and extreme right, like, but even fascism and nationalism, and well, I suppose I class that as extreme right. But I think I've often talked about this, but I wish it would be more like sort of centre right or something like that, fiscally conservative, but also more liberal when it comes to equal rights or immigration or treating people well, or getting along through football. So that's another thing I'd love to change, is like Italians to get on well with people from around the world through football, and also unite the country, and the country to be more united. And like when Italian teams are playing non-Italian teams, even if they're rival teams, like, support each other more. I think it's a shame they're very divided. 25, as somebody who supports republics, I suppose, for me this is a positive, but for other people, I suppose this is like nitpicking really. But if you are, it's probably just to get through the list a bit, but if you are like a pro-monarchist, I guess, or I suppose if you're from somewhere like England or somewhere like that, you probably won't want to support Italian football. So I suppose that could be, I think it's more positive actually to be a republic, but other people might think it's better to be a monarchy. So for those type of people, that would probably be a bit negative. But anyway, that's probably a bit of a trivial point I made there. But number 26, I think it's a shame that Italy had like an empire and took over other countries, and especially because it's anti-immigrant, which to me feels a bit hypocritical. And as anti-imperialist is a bit of a dilemma. But I think Italy should refuse to take over other countries in the future and like have a military that only protects the country but doesn't invade other countries. Like I'd love that to be for Mediterranean countries. So I think it's a shame that Italy had an empire, and normally I'm against empires, but although I do support their football team, so I suppose I make one concession. Number 27, I suppose it would be hard to think of why someone from the black diaspora around the world, or like someone from who's an Aboriginal or Maori or an indigenous Australasian, again, or someone from Africa or someone from the Americas, Native American, or even someone from Asia, why would they support Italy given the prejudice? But I suppose you could say similar about England or Germany or Spain. They also have prejudice in their countries, although to be fair, the English FA has done a lot to try and tackle, or simply known as the FA, has done a lot to tackle racism. So I think it would be good to see Italy learning from England in that area as well as other countries like Spain learning from England about how to tackle racism and prejudice. 28. I think it would be great to change some of these things like the prejudice and racism. It's probably for the best. I can't actually think of a 30-point list that easily, but it would be good to change some of that prejudice and racism, as well as the defensive football and things like that. 29, I'd love to see Italy have better relations with other Mediterranean nations such as France, Spain, and Portugal, and countries like that. All Mediterranean, all Eurasian, transcontinental, Mid-Eastern, and Mediterranean nations as well. I don't know what I'm quoting, but that sort of thing. Number 30, I'd love to know what you think. Like, are there things you dislike or hate about Italian football, or are you someone who dislikes or hates Italian football generally, or maybe even the country? Please leave any comments, even negative ones if you must, in the comment section. And also, what would you change about Italian football? Is there anything that would make you become an Italian football fan? Hope these videos weren't too weird, and I hope they weren't too boring. And please look out for the positive side of the video as well, like the marketing side and the positive sides as well. So please let me know what you think, and please leave any comments you can think of. Peace and love.